Hey, I'm Tracy from a website called yogabelowthebelt.com, and this tutorial focuses entirely on a standing wide-legged forward fold that is very mindful of your pelvic floor. So without further ado, we'll jump right into it. Now with a forward fold, a lot of times in classes, people will have a really wide base with the legs. They'll lock out the knees, keeping them tight, and then they'll come all the way down. So let me give you a side angle here. The feet are pointed forward, which is how I cue it too, but the knees will be straight and they come all the way down, rounding the back until they can reach the floor. So a few concerns with this. If you are someone who is super flexible, nice straight back, this might be a different story. But for most people watching this video, you won't be quite as flexible. So the first thing is when you are in this position, the back is really rounded and that forces your tailbone to tuck underneath you. And when you're working with the pelvic floor, it's super important to make sure the pelvis is in neutral, meaning that your spine is aligned in a natural position. And here, when you rotate the bottom underneath you, tailbone tucking, you are losing that nice natural curve in the lumbar spine, which is the lowest part of the back. And the other problem is my hamstrings, as with most people with pelvic floor problems, are really tight, which means that in order to feel the stretch, if you're keeping the legs nice and straight, you have no flexibility in the pelvis to move that tailbone. So I would suggest that you bend the knees as generously as you need to, which will let you have some more motion in the tailbone and the hips, and then pull the tailbone back to straighten the spine. And this is too far for me. I'm rounding the upper back. So I'm going to come all the way up and start again. So the toes are pointed forward. I'm going to bend the knees as much as I need to, stick my rear end out so that the tailbone can pull back. And then I'm hinging at the hips and leaning forward, coming only as far as I need to feel a nice, yummy stretch in the hamstrings while maintaining the natural spine. So my neck is relaxed, the shoulders relaxed. I could even put the hands down in front of me or on the hips. And one last point before we go into this together. If you are like me and dealing with something like pelvic organ prolapse, if you take a really wide stance, you lose some of the nice support for the pelvic floor. So prolapse folks, I always recommend stepping a little further in than you think you need to be. I'm 6 feet tall. I go 3 to 3.5 feet. 4 feet is too much because it builds pressure in the pelvic floor. Not such a great situation for me. So how I cue this in class, and now you're welcome to join me. I would have you step the feet apart, 3.5 feet, depending on what's comfortable for you. I will invite you to breathe nice and deep. Fill the belly with air all the way to the pelvic floor. Nice long spine. And on the exhale, bend the knees, pulling the knees outward. Don't let them fold in. Your booty sticks out, tailbone comes back. Nice straight spine, leaning forward to your edge. And I want you to work not on shifting the weight to the heels, but on bringing the weight toward the front of the foot. And this will help you deepen the stretch of the hamstrings. And we'll stay here for one full breath and then one to get out. Let's take a nice deep inhale, filling the belly with air. A nice long exhale. One more inhale. And on the exhale, maintain that straight spine as you come all the way to standing. And we'll step the feet together and release from the posture. There you have it, a standing wide-legged forward fold that's mindful of the pelvic floor. I hope you'll check out the videos, see what we offer for full-length classes and live classes and more tutorials. Thanks for watching. Bye.